I always joke that the NFL is the greatest reality show going. And you just got to keep their perspective because you just see it all the time. And there's so many absurd things. People send it to me. I've got a lot of people that, because I find humor in a lot of things, that they'll send me stuff that is so absurd. Like the one today, I went on the record, talking about the Bijan vaping, which I thought was pretty funny that David Basti showed me that we all got a laugh out of. But that's the stuff that's out there sometimes. It's just so absurd.
What happened? I didn't hear this. What happened?
No.
I didn't hear it either, but that was one theory about the last time we played Tampa. So it was brought back up to about Bijan. And then the funniest thing I saw was that he was vaping and then vaped in my face as we were getting off the bus and I benched him. So
you gotta let him know who's boss.
Too much. But Bijan might be the nicest person you've ever seen. I don't think he's it would have been somebody like we had McAfee on the roster that could be that could be believable. But it would be a different set of challenges there.
Up to the head coach. Could you imagine walking up to the head coach?
Hello, Coach.
Good to see you.
Yeah, but
good to see you.
The reason I bring it up because it is one of those questions. I mean, there's so much stuff like theories and run wild about what happened. It's like, why didn't this guy get the ball here? It's like, well, hey, we got beat up front. Quarterback, something happened, or somebody went wrong. There's so many things that happen on play.
That's too boring.
I know.
Too boring.
I know. It's the conspiracies that are, I guess, more fun to talk about. But like we talk about the UFOs, and sometimes they can be true. So,
man, Coach, is it fun to coach? Can you ever take time, Coach? I know it's always in the grind, next game, next practice, next meeting. But do you ever get time to just enjoy it? Like maybe even in your office by yourself, and you probably wouldn't even admit it. You're like, man, this is pretty damn cool what I'm doing right now.
Vape a little bit.
I think there's a perspective.
Yeah, vape around there.
No, it does. I mean, you get to. That's the thing that, and I'm sure. you guys can speak on your own, but like, it's the day-to-day stuff, the humor you find when you've got a great group, and it's the things that you laugh at practice, or how funny some of the guys are, things that come up in practice. Somebody does something. We've got some really good guys here. Yeah, absolutely. Like you got the best job in the world. Like when people are, act like there's some kind of, it's hard, because you maybe lose a game or something. You take a step back. You're like, I get paid for a living to coach football with a great group of people. There's nothing like it, but you need that perspective because it is. I'm so fortunate to have the job.
Last question for me. Whenever you're trying to find inspiration on motivational speeches, do you draw a line on things, or how do you?
Yes.
How do you find the topic or subject of your motivation, Coach?
Everybody's got their own stuff, So everybody got their own way to do things, and who am I to judge? Other people. Like I gotta worry about myself, Pat.
Did you know about the vaping thing, Pat? I had no idea.
No, I just learned that. That's awesome. To think that
would have been in front of the whole team, too. He said he got off the bus and blew vape smoke in his face. I'm like, so then the whole bus is staying there watching your running back do that? There's no chance that happened.
And with vape, there's going to be a little bit of spit, too. So it basically spits in the face of your head coach. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So here it is coming from Samuel Sung. This seems real.
Yeah, bingo.
Yep. 2.1 million views on that. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's 2023. But if Bijan Robinson is blowing smoke in the face of the head coach as a rookie, I'll tell you what, we got a dog on our hands. Not necessarily the right way to do things. I appreciate that he said, like, Bijan's like the nicest kid of all time. Right? That is, because he's like almost saying, like, what this is saying about Bijan's character, let alone me being petty and benching him for that. That's not true. But like, Bijan would also never do this. This is one of the best humans we have. I appreciate him taking that stance and addressing it. I would also like to address these right here.
Yeah.
My cause, my cleats. Further Brand was the foundation that I chose. And obviously, it is a foundation that was founded after my dog, Valerie, battled cancer for the first time. And we found out how expensive cancer treatments are for dogs. And, my wife is obviously a massive piece of this, and two of her girlfriends are the driving forces behind it all. And once we realized how expensive it was, we immediately wanted to raise money for people to be able to maybe pay for other animals and pets to extend their lives. And cancer isn't automatically a death sentence, because you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that people have to make the decision between having 4 or 5 more years with a family pet that is like a kid, or are we not going to be able to afford this? So I picked Further Brand, and shout out to the Houston Texans for getting this done. Now, obviously, that's another AFC South team. Our show is in Indianapolis, but our relationship with the Houston Texans has become a wonderful thing, and they wanted to say thanks and do this. They got Connor some, they got ZD some, they got a couple other guys some. So we're very appreciative and happy to be a part of it. And thank you so much to the artists that did this. And I don't know the name, but they did a hell of a job. Hell of a job.
Did. Those things look sweet. I saw when you put those up on the desk, it it caught my eye a little bit. Awesome, great cause. It's cool what the NFL does with the My Cleats, My Cause situation. Everyone can hear the music. We're coming up against a hard out. Hour 2 will be wrapping up. Hour 3 will be on ESPN Plus and on YouTube. Pat will be here Monday. Bye.
Nice.
Well done, AJ.
Nailed it.
These guys have been eyeballing me, Pat. Let's take a quick 5 to try to take a leak.
Why
from
do
these
you
guys
do
on
this?
The stage.
You do this every
They've been eyeballing me
week.
all day long.
You can just say, hey, I got to take a piss.
Yeah, I pee every 7 seconds. Yeah, I'm going to go
We're
as well.
53 minutes into the hour. I mean, we can't take,
I know.
You know?
Like, can we at least go to 2?
I'm just telling you, these eyes the ties.
I mean, we have not once.